Hi, AJ. Good morning. How's everybody doing? All right. Now we're getting some people. I feel better now. All right. So you should have your review that you completed. All right. How's everybody doing today? Good? Good, bad. Can you hear me? I know AJ can. All right. So how many of you finished your review? I know AJ finished it. Valerie finished it. Amanda finished it. Yesenia, how far did you get?
I did not finish it.
Did you start it? Let's start there.
I'm
Okay.
not feeling very well. Sorry.
Okay. Oh no.
I got
hope
the
you feel-
vaccination and I'm having terrible.
Did you get the first dose or the second dose?
The first one, and I don't know why. Like,
Hopefully, when did you get it? Yesterday?
yeah.
So hopefully by tonight you'll feel better. Definitely by tomorrow. So yeah. So even my daughter got her first dose and she said she just felt strange, like not good. So, but like no real symptoms. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's
So
good.
but she was fine by the very next day.
Okay.
So yeah. So we're good. But she got hers really early in the morning, you know, so I think that makes a difference because like when I got my second dose, it was like 12 hours in when I started feeling bad.
Oh really? Yeah. I got it like around like noon yesterday, and I feel so weird.
How did you sleep last night?
I slept terrible.
Yep. So I think that's it. So probably at about midnight, you started feeling bad, you know, like even if you didn't know it. And now it'll probably last all today, but by tomorrow morning when you wake up, it'll be perfect. You'll be fine.
That sounds
I would be shocked if you were not. So, all right. Erin, did you get finished with the review? Or did you not start it? Or did you get partially? Because Yesenia didn't start hers yet.
I finished it.
Okay. Ashley, how about you?
I think I have like a question left.
Okay, good. So you're almost there. And Deshay, how about you?
Yeah, I think I have like maybe 2 questions left.
Okay. Jendai? Almost. Does that mean like 1 or 2 questions, or does that mean half of it? Okay. Angelina, how about you?
I already started it. I'm like halfway-ish.
Okay. Amari, how about you? Amari, are you there? All right, so I'm not sure about Amari. We'll have to check in on him. I'm sharing my screen with a problem. Did you guys get my email where I did a video for you guys? Okay, so I just had a student in my other class that was stuck on this problem and just kind of needed clarification about the difference between them. So I just made a quick video on it. So if you need that help, that video, I just go through this problem. Okay. So that being said, let's look at Thunderbird Thursday. So what I'm sharing with you is scholarship workshops. I don't know how many of you are in need of scholarship workshops, but these are new. They're tomorrow, April 9th, and then Tuesday the 13th. And last I heard, where you apply to the scholarships is still broken, but it's supposed to be getting fixed very quickly. As soon as I have an update, you'll know, but I'm sure they'll talk about it in the workshop. So some of you are like, I would never qualify for a scholarship. You'd be amazed at how we do scholarships here and how you don't have to have a whole lot to qualify for a scholarship. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware if you should not be going into debt going to school, right? You should be getting all the scholarship and financial help that you need. So if you're interested in that, that workshop is linked. I can put it in the chat if you want. And then just an update on registration. Registration for summer and fall classes starts on Monday the 5th. That was the latest info. It was definitely supposed to already be back up, but it is not. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew that was there, okay? It's supposed to be open on Monday. The other thing I wanted to share with you is there's an international cultural festival, spring cultural festival on April 7th from 11 to 1. And let me see if I can share that. Because this was a nice thing that we're having that I think a lot of people would appreciate. So it's, I'll link this. It has cultural dance, music, and a procession of traditional costumes and mini virtual tours of 10 regions of the world. So if you're interested in that, I'll make sure I put in there. It has performances from Arizona, the Far East, Latin America, South America, Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and South Asia. So I think it's awesome that we have that available. So if you're interested in that Spring Cultural Festival, it's April 7th from 11 to 1. Okay. We have so many things that are coming up. It's hard to share them all. I don't know if any of you are going to pick up your meal kit today, but don't forget that was in the slides from yesterday. So we have a lot of that kind of stuff going on. We have our wellness fair coming up. So there were so many things I just couldn't even share it all. So make sure you keep checking. Remember, I showed you that virtual site, the Student Life, where it has all the events that are happening. So make sure you check out that virtual Student Life. Okay. Oh, and if you need not the meal kits, but if you just need to Mesa Market, it's next Wednesday. So next Wednesday is Mesa Market. All right. So I posted in our Canvas course and it's in the slides as well, the key to the probability review. But let's do this for a warm up because I feel like this was so old. This was a long time ago. And if you're struggling, this might be what you're struggling on. And let's just do one at a time. So we'll do number 1. And it's notice it says write your answer as a ratio with a colon between. So if you pick one card at random from a standard deck of 52 cards, what are the odds it will be a face card? So the odds it will be a face card. Remember, odds and probability are calculated differently. So what are the odds it's a face card? And you should simplify that ratio. So I'll give you about a minute to do that, and then we'll put it in the chat. All right, so put your answer in the chat for just number one. The odds that it's going to be a face card. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so yep, it's 3 to 10. So Valerie, you just didn't simplify, right? So, but that's fine. So that's why it's important that you write your work on your paper too, so then I can see if you had trouble simplifying or something like that. So it's 3 to 10. Can someone explain why it's 3 to 10? Where did you get that number, those numbers from? Deshay, can you explain where you got 3 to 10?
Yeah, so there are 12 face cards, right? I think, hold on. I gotta go back to my thing.
Yeah, that's why it's nice. There are 12 face cards. So, because there's Jack, Queen, and King of each suit, and there's 4 suits. So Jack, Queen, King, and 4 suits. So that's 12. And then?
Okay, so then it would be 12 to 52, but you can simplify that.
Is it 12 to 52?
Would it be 12 to 40?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, why is it 12 to 40 instead of 12 to 52?
Because they don't have base cards. They don't
Yeah,
have
because when we're doing odds, we're going successes to failure, not successes to total. So there's 12 face cards and then there's 40 not face cards. Okay, does that make sense? And then you can divide each of them by 4, so you would get 3 to 10. Does that make sense to those of you who did not answer? Okay. Try number 2. If the probability is 51 to 92, what are the odds against that event happening? What are the odds against that event happening? All right, you guys have that one ready? Okay, let's put that one in the chat. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so I see a few different answers. Some I see 41 to 51, some I see 41 to 92. Which is correct and why?
I would say 41 and or oh, never mind.
What do you guys think? 41 to 51 or 41 to 92 and why?
Okay, I'm sorry. I would say 41 over or 41 and 51
Why?
because you have 92, then you subtract 51 and you get 41, right?
Okay. And what's the 92? Like, tell me what the 51 is, the 92, and the 41. What are all those? Not just Valerie, anyone can answer.
Is the 92 the odds of it happening?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the total odds.
So the 92 is the total outcomes. Yes, the 92 is the total outcomes. What's the 51? Is it successes or failures?
No, that was the 51 was the event, like the odds of the event happening, the success of it, or whatever you want to say.
So it's successes or the favorable events, right, for it happening. Okay, so remember, probability is how many positive or favorable or successes over the total, but odds is not. Odds in favor, I'll write this up here. Odds in favor are successes to failure, and odds against are failures to successes. And this goes back a long time ago. Remember, like if we're just going to roll a 3 on a dice, the number of 3s on a dice or successes is 1. The total number on the dice is 6. But if I do odds in favor, I'm going to do 1 to 5, and odds against are going to be 5 to 1, because my successes plus my failures must be my total. So right over here where you did, this is the total minus the successes, and that will give you the failures. So that's why we used 41 as our failures and 51 as our successes, because we wanted odds against. Does that help? Okay, so be careful. Make sure that you have stuff written on your paper, because if you just write 41 out of 92, I'm just going to mark it wrong, and Canvas is just going to mark it wrong. Okay, but if you have some sort of explanation, I can give you partial credit. Okay, how about the last one? If you pick one card at random from a standard deck of 52 cards, what are the odds it will not be a heart? What are the odds it will not be a heart? All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Now that I gave you those definitions, that might help you on this part, right? All right, so who can explain how you got 3 to 1?
You do the odds against, so the failures to successes.
Okay, keep going.
And then the failure is 39 that aren't going to be a heart. And then the successes is 13 that would be a heart. And then you simplify that, and 39 divided by 13 equals 3, and then 13 divided by 13 equals 1.
Very nice. So in the 39 and the 13, you got from your picture, right, on your probability sheet, or it was nice because it's in rows. And there's actually 4 rows. So there's 3 that are not hearts, and there's only 1 row that is a heart. So that's kind of nice, 3 to 1, right? All right, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna put you in, let's talk about the test first. So remember, you're taking your test via Lockdown Browser, and you can take it anytime starting at noon today until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. And you have 60 minutes to take that test. You're not taking it during class, right? So you take it anytime from noon today until 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. But you still need to use Respondus Lockdown Browser. So make sure you're ready for that. And again, you have 15 minutes after the test or quiz, whatever you want to call it, to upload your written work. Remember, I want to see your whole surface of your desk. I know it might give you that error message, but you can turn that off. And especially when you do your environment video, don't flip it around super fast, right? So like, show me what's happening in your room. Take your time, because if I have to question it, then that's going to make it much harder. Okay. Hopefully you already finished this review. I know some of you are still working on it. You're going to upload this finished assignment to Canvas. I'm going to give you the answer key once I see that you've finished your probability review. And the answer key has the work written out, so you can get help on that. I'm going to let you review in your breakout rooms. Call me in when you need help. Okay? So I'm going to put you in your breakout rooms, and then I'll come and visit you. Okay. Olivia, you had finished, right? Your review? Okay. Now you should get a thing to join. Hi, AJ. Did you get stuck out here?
Yep.
I'm so sorry. So did you not have the option to join anything?
Yep. That's
All
why
right.
I checked the key. I'm all good.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So everybody else will be coming in a second, but I don't know how I closed them. I just closed them on accident. So, but I was going to help Ashley with odds in favor and odds against. Hi, Ashley. I'm still here. It wasn't a dream. So, yeah, I don't know what I did, but it's all fun. So now on the screen, you should see that number one that we were just talking about, right? So probability is success to total. And odds in favor is usually written as with a colon in between, so as a ratio. So that's success to failure. And then odds against is failures to successes. And then, so if we're doing a coin, we know the probability of heads is 1/2. The probability it's not heads is 1/2, right? Because there's 1 out of 2. Then for odds in favor, successes, remember this number here was success. So it must be 1. And then you have to think of, so that's the number of heads. Then you have to think of, okay, how many are not heads? Well, since there's only 2 total and one of them is heads, then there must be 1 that's not heads. So that's how we know that it's 1 to 1. And then when we do odds against, we just reverse those. So it might be easier to see with a single 6-sided die. So what's the probability that you roll a number greater than 4?
Is it 1/3?
Yeah, it's going to be 1/3 because it was really, because it was 2 out of 6, which equals 1/3. So, and then not that happening, that would be whatever left after the 2/3. So that would be 4/6 or 2/3. Does that make sense for that part? I know that wasn't your question. It's over here that your question is. So now when we do odds in favor for rolling a number greater than 4, well, there's still 2 successes, but then there are 4 failures. So it's going to be 2 to 4 because there's 2 numbers on the dice that are greater than 4, but there's 4 numbers on the dice that are less than 4. So do you see, and did you notice that this 2 plus 4 equals 6? And this 1 plus 1 equals 2. That will always happen. So it's nice because your successes and your failures together have to be equal to your total. And you can simplify this, divide both of them by 2. So you're going to get 1 to 2. The nice thing is for this column, you just reverse them. So it's going to be 4 to 2 and 2 to 1 because odds against is going to be failures to successes. So failures, there's 4 numbers that are less than 4 and there's 2 numbers that are greater than 4. So we just turn it around and say 4 to 2, which simplifies to 2 to 1. Does that help make more sense of that? And it might even be easier when you get down to the probability of a heart, because that's 4 out of 52. Oh, sorry. That's 13 out of 52 because there's 13 hearts out of 52 total, which makes it 1 to 4. So then there must be 39 not hearts, which would be 3 to 4. And so for odds in favor, we're going to do 13 to 39 because notice those are the 2 numerators of our fractions. because that's successes for the event happening and the event not happening. And then you could simplify those. And this one, you just reverse them. So 1 to 3 and 3 to 1. Does that help a little bit? Okay. Anyone else have questions on these? I think probably the hardest one is the expected value one. You know, is the expected value problem, but that's why there's so many blanks. So then you can get partial credit and fill some of them in. All right, so the last thing I want to tell you guys, we still have a few more minutes and I'm happy to help you. Don't forget to finish up your probability review and upload it. The other thing that's not listed here is do your info on taking the probability test. Okay, make sure you do that because that's due tonight as well. Okay, and then the mini lesson isn't due till Sunday. So this one's not due till Sunday. But this one, this is due tonight. And this one's due tonight. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions that they need help with? We still have about, I don't know, 11 minutes. No, you guys are good? You don't want to do another example of a problem or anything? It's up to you.
Just as a review for the expected value on number 3, when we get the outcome, how do we, what do we divide to get the probability?
So on number 3, you it told you the probability of
Mhm.
0.0023.
Oh, I
see
see
that?
that. Okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
So they tell you the probability of 0.0023 of the hurricane happening. So to find out if the hurricane's not going to happen or the probability it's not going to happen, you do 1 minus that 0.0023 because the total is 100%, right? Or 1 whole. So then for the hurricane not happening, it would be 0.9977.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so sometimes it's just reading real carefully on that. Any other questions you guys have? Okay, so for some of you, this is kind of a high stakes test you have going on here, right? Because this affects your grade more than other things do, and you may not have gotten the grade you wanted on the first test. So make sure that you get help, you know, and you've really studied for these things before you take that. Anyone need anything else? AJ's like, nope, we're good. Okay, well, don't forget to upload it, right? Don't forget to upload your review and complete the info on taking the test. Oh, I know what else I was going to tell you. I was going to tell you that a strategy to use, because I don't know what strategy you guys are using when you take the test, but this is the strategy I would use. You go into Lockdown Browser, right? Make sure you've eaten and you've gone to the bathroom and you're all ready to take the quiz, right? You have your environment all ready, and then you log into Lockdown Browser. You do your environment video nice and slowly, not giving me whiplash when I'm trying to watch those videos. And then on the very first question, or it's not even a question, it's just information on the test, will say you can use the Desmos Scientific Calculator, the Desmos Graphing Calculator, or your own calculator, right? If you plan on using the Desmos Scientific Calculator like I would plan on using, I would click it right then. So then it's open and ready for you when you need it. And then there's a link to the probability formula sheet. I would click that as well right then at the start of the quiz. So then I don't have to think about it and it's there if I need it. Does that make sense? Okay, so then you can always go back and look at it. Even if you're like, I think I know a deck of cards, and then you're like, oh, I better just make sure I know a deck of cards. And then make sure after you finish all of the tests, go back if you have time, because you should, and verify that you rounded to the right place, that you wrote everything on your paper, and you have whatever is necessary for the question. And then make sure that you upload it within 15 minutes of finishing. Anyone need another expected value example? One room had trouble with that and wanted more practice on that. No, you're good? Okay, so once you've filled out the exit ticket, you can go. If you have any questions, I'll be here for 6 more minutes, so just let me know. Bye, AJ. Good luck on the quiz, test, whatever you want to call it.